In this video, I'm going to show you how to replace the passenger side rear corner bumper piece on this Toyota 4Runner. Let's get started. There are 3 fasteners in total holding this fender flare piece in place. If you don't have it, skip this step. However, I'm going to remove these 2 over here, 2 10mm bolts, and then there's one underneath, which I'll show you in a minute. For now, let's remove both of these. These might break. If they do, make sure you have new hardware. This is the one that is underneath. It's kind of in the center, right by the exhaust pipe here. Take this one out as well. There are also 2 push clips, one here and one here. Those have to come out. Get a trim tool underneath and try to pop them out. A lot of times they break, hopefully they don't. There we go, that one's out. Do the same to this lower one. Perfect. Now you can remove this whole piece. Now let's remove this plastic piece. I prefer to start at one end and work my way to the other. You don't have to, but it's a lot easier to do it this way. The first thing you want to do is pop this corner up. It's got a little tab that sticks into that hole, and then you want to clear this rubber bump stop here for the trunk, and then just take a pry tool, preferably something plastic so you don't damage anything, and just pry up. There are clips along the underneath of this plastic piece. They are pretty tough though, so make sure whatever you're prying with is up to the task. There we go. Okay, just hold pressure upwards on it with your other hand, otherwise it's going to want to pop back in. And there you have it, set it aside. Now let's remove the bolt that holds the center piece to the corner piece on the passenger side, 12mm socket. There it is. In the wheel well here, you'll see that at the top there's a bolt sticking up and through. We'll have to remove this. I'm going to use a 13mm. For you, it might be a different size. Get your socket on there and remove the bolt. There it is. Now underneath, right on the corner, you'll see another 12mm bolt. Remove that one as well. And one right by the tire. This one's a 13mm for me, but for you it should be a 12. Now, lift up the corner piece from the bottom, slide it up and out from the backside, and then slide it forward, and there it is. Now when you install the corner piece, it has this bracket right here, which gets a bolt threaded through from the bottom, but it has to hook up and over this other bracket. So get that on first, just like that, and then slide it onto the rear. The rear should have a little tab to hold it on. Once that's on, I like to put one bolt in. I'm not going to tighten it, but I just want to put it on so I can hold it safely secured to the body without it falling off while I put the other 3 bolts in. Next, I'm going to put the bolt in that goes on the bracket I just showed you. Again, I'm not going to tighten any of them. I just want all of them started so that I know it's all lined up as it should be. Okay, this one's in. Now let's go on the rear lower corner, line up this one, thread the bolt in, get it started. I'm not tightening it, I'm just getting it close. And leave it right there. I still need this to move around to line up the last one. Last but not least, line up this one at the top corner. Get that threaded on. Threads on nice and smooth. And now, because they're all lined up, I'm just going to go ahead and tighten this one. Now let's tighten up this lower one. Now in the fender well area, I want to tighten up this top one first because this still has some play to it. I want to pull it down so that everything is nice and level first. Then I'll lock in the bumper piece with the lower bolt. That one's tight. And now the last one. Perfect. Now let's put this fender flare back on, line up the bolt holes that go in the fender well, and start them, but don't tighten them yet. You still want this to move around to line up the third one that goes underneath. Perfect. Let's do that one. And line up the one that goes underneath. And since this is the last one, let's just go ahead and tighten them. Nice and snug. And finally the last two. Nice and snug. Our push clips, I don't have any to put in that'll fit. If you still have yours, go ahead and put them back in. Last piece is going to be this one that covers the top of the centerpiece. Line it up with the striker for the trunk hatch. Tap it down. Make sure all of the little clips lock in. That looks perfect. And there you have it.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.